Now, firstly, what's driven voters towards Călin Georgescu? He doesn't even have a political party, and TikTok seems to be his main outlet for campaigning.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, indeed, we live in interesting, shocking times. And I think this year, which was the largest for democracy, has also brought a lot of nervousness around the world, but also a feeling of anti-incumbency. And you could, in a way, put this with one of the main causes, this anti-system vibe across different societies, which we have seen shattering governments, presidents across the world in a lot of the elections that we have witnessed so far. So Romania is no different. I think that from the big shock came from the fact that we expected some rising stars from our politics, because we also have some other anti-system candidates or anti-system players, but nonetheless, this was a player who went from one-digit popularity to suddenly leading the presidential race. And yes, you can say TikTok helped, because the others didn't explore that much TikTok. They were more in the more classical networks. But for sure, it was also the charisma that he projected, the calm, the fact that he really knew how to go for people's aspirations or frustrations. And he had a personalized video for almost everything which mattered in Romanian society, or for niche parts of Romanian society.
Yep. His campaign slogan was to restore Romanian dignity. Can you tell us what he meant by that?
Romania has become more patriotic in the past decade. I think that a lot of countries, when you're changing from one system to another, it's like a biblical crossing of the desert. You're changing generations. It can take 30, 40 years. Romania was under forced communism due to the situation after the Second World War. And we turned to democracy after 1989. And of course, after initial huge openness with no conditions towards the West, you get some frustrations in society from part of the population who either is nostalgic, God knows for what, because I'm the kid of the 80s and I remember how hard it was. But nonetheless, some people are still nostalgic about the times where part of the propaganda sells them as we were more independent, we were stronger, and we depended less on allies. Because the truth is, Romania is very rich right now, but not everybody has felt that, that the fact that we really jumped forward. Not everybody felt that an increase in GDP is an actual increase in our pockets. So yes, we have a vibrant middle class, but we also have people who have been forgotten. So from this perspective, it's normal that part of the society sympathizes, with the fact that not everybody is a winner.
You spoke earlier about this is anti-incumbency attitudes among voters, but can you tell us why else did the coalition, the ruling coalition of the Prime Minister and the other party, why did they fail?
First of all, like everywhere around the world, prices are rising. Inflation is biting. It's a reality across democracies, and not only democracies around the world, right? So living conditions, no matter how protected the government may seem, of course, they affect the population, and the population strikes back via elections. Separate from that, I think the main two parties of societies kind of took part of the population for granted. And you're always in a competition, a permanent campaign for your electorate. And I think they were a little bit too relaxed as regards the availability of the electorate to vote for somebody else.
Radu, given the accusations we have also seen when Georgia and Moldova went to the polls of Russian interference, was there any signs of that happening in Romania this time round?
Some of us really... We're very concerned in the aftermath of the elections, because such a surge is barely natural, and for sure this will become a study case also for social media networks. And there is also a debate now in Romanian civil society about TikTok regulation and possible vulnerabilities. But for the moment, we don't have any official inquiry, so I'll be hesitant into blaming this on any foreign hand. For sure, there has been local dissatisfaction as well. In case there is any malignant influence, we'll find that from our relevant agencies in the weeks to come.
And now, Georgescu, he's likely to face, I think, according to local media reports, Elena Lasconi, the centre-right candidate for the Save Romania Union. How do you see this runoff in December playing out?
It's tight because it's very interesting. If I were to compare this with American politics, which everybody knows around the world, now you have two big pillars. Historically, one of the big pillars in Romania were the Social Democrats. But the thing is, right now, the Social Democrats have become the swing voters. So it's no longer Republicans versus Democrats, right? It's no longer like Georgescu and the Conservatives versus Lasconi and the Liberals. Ironically, now the swing voters are the voters of the largest party of Romania. So imagine like in the US elections, you wouldn't have seen Kamala Harris run or Donald Trump run. Suddenly you would have Mr. Kennedy, for example, in the final, right? So this is the situation in Romania. It's weird. And of course, everybody's waiting for an endorsement from the Social Democrats, which may only come after these Sunday's parliamentary elections. And if not, if there is no endorsement, each candidate will try to essentially grab bits and pieces of this big electorate.
Yes, and finally, I want to look at things at a geopolitical level. Of course, this surprise first round win has probably causing some anxiety in NATO, isn't it? Because Georgescu, he has criticized Romania's ballistic missile defense shield in southern Romania as a disgrace.
Which says something about the candidate, and which, from my perspective, will turn a lot of the Romanian influencers and a lot of the Romanian intelligentsia against him. Now, of course, you could say that around the world, candidates who position themselves anti-elite, anti-establishment, sometimes rocked. This may be true, but it's really important in a country such as Romania to also have the respect of commonsensical people. And there is agreement around, I would say, a wider societal agreement, particularly in such turbulent times. Remember that Romania has a border with Ukraine, so we have a neighbor who has been attacked by Russia. NATO is no peanuts. NATO is important for our security. Our partnership with the United States is important for our security. And somebody who is questioning that is for sure not a patriot, as he says.
Okay, Radu Magdin, we really do hope to check back with you after the presidential runoff in December. But thank you very much for your excellent analysis today.
It's me thanking you for the invitation.